Hey, how's everyone doing this evening? This is the Luke-N-SHAE'S place. Hi, I'm Luke. That's Shay. We,
Hello.
we about to touch on some stuff, but first, before we do that, we need to get you to
Please like, share, and subscribe.
definitely. We need all the love, all the love. Definitely like, share, and subscribe. We was touching on a subject today, a subject of relationship, okay, but at the same time, what happens in the dynamics of a woman sleeping with a married man? We would like to touch on those subjects right there. We like to get deep into this. So what we're going to do with no further ado, we're going to go ahead and jump right on into this. What happens when a woman is sleeping or having an affair with the married man? What is the man thinking? What is the woman thinking? We like to touch on all those issues right there. So let's get into this.
All right, let's dive into it.
So when a woman actually interacts with the man and the man is married, what is the feelings? Is the woman feeling like the man is in love with her, even though he has a wife or a fiance or whatever the situation might call for?
Um, I would think that depending on the length of time, if because being a woman, I know that when somebody's spending time with me, or if somebody's giving me that, that attention, that longevity, like if it's been long term, yes, you're gonna start to feel. Not saying for everybody, but you're gonna start to feel like that person is into you. They love you. I don't know if the mindset is, I don't know, some people might think, oh, he's gonna leave that person for you, or whatever the case might be. But yes, in a woman's mind, just it when we actually bond through intimacy. So if you're being intimate with that person and you're feeling like, okay, he's in love with me, at some point you're going to start to think that because of the kind of interaction you're having with that person.
That's deep. But being that the man is in that relationship and he's already married or into the woman, can he bond with two people at the same time? Because see, I would look at it more so that the woman falls in love with the man, and I agree, she bonds with sex, but by the same token, the man doesn't.
Mm-hmm.
So if a man is still out, still talking to, still in contact with that woman, it's not because she's in love with him. It's because she gave it up. And when you give it up, that's what the attraction is. I call it the cat syndrome. If you feed a cat, he'll stay around. If you don't feed him, he won't stay there.
Mm-hmm.
He'll continue to look. But if you don't fed the cat, oh, he's gonna stay there. He's definitely gonna stick on because he feels like I said, a woman is 10 times more likely to sleep with someone she's already slept with. A man is 10 times more likely to sleep with someone he has never met. So with these things in place, if I've already conquered you, it's more likely I could conquer you again. That's why, and even in relationships where the woman will say, well, the man couldn't get it again. But if you go talk to that man believes in his heart he could. That's how the man thinks. So that's the mindset. So once you cross that line, there's no uncrossing the line.
Yeah.
So at this point in time, you can say, well, the person built up a relationship over a course of time, but a man builds his bond with time. But if he's in a relationship with his wife,
Already.
he's not building no bond with you.
Mm-hmm.
He's doing the things he has to do to get with you and get what he wants out of you. He's not trying to build no bond with you. He understands he got a wife he goes home to, or he got a woman he's going home to. And at the same time, if you was weak enough, I'm going to use that term because I don't want to offend anybody. If you were weak enough to give it to me while I'm married, knowing I'm married, then that's on you because I have no bond with you.
Yeah. Now, in those situations, and yes, Luke, I agree 100%. Now, you have different situations for different people and someone who can relate. So you do have situations where you know that person is married, okay? Then you have situations where you might not know that that person's married or they hide it from you. Okay, so in a situation where you know that the man is married, And I know a lot of times just, having people that I talk to, and even with different situations that I had myself, where you have someone, okay, like you said, the man is trying to conquer or whatever. What they will do, what sometimes guys will do, is they'll talk down on the woman at home. They'll talk down on her, and not that it makes it great for the woman to fall for that, but when you start to have time with someone, say it's a coworker, and you're over time talking and you're getting to know this person, and you might share the situations that you're in. But when someone is constantly saying, wow, this person is, oh, she's this, she's not respecting me, she's, treat me like this, and you're hearing this, and sometimes that could be somebody's tactic they use to get with the woman, because now she's thinking like, wow, he's such a nice guy. How could somebody treat him less than? And yeah, sometimes we fall for that kind of stuff, which that sucks.
But
that sucks.
That's still a mindset still there. And that mindset is he has a wife.
Yeah.
So at that point in time, until he don't have a wife,
he's married.
I shouldn't be messing with him.
Yeah.
And there should be nothing, no type of interaction going on between me and him, because he's already married. So like I said, but I was touching on the fact that when I've had people who said, I have been with a man, and in the process, I found out he had a wife.
Yes.
And I seen the wife.
Yes.
Now, after seeing the wife, if the person still sleep with him, see, that speaks volumes to me, the man. Because, see, it tells me that you want me more than I want you. And so, yeah, you can say, and I heard women say, well, I built up a bond with this person. I built up a relationship with the person. But as a man, I understand that you can't. And I also understand, that you can build that bond, because it is that, but at the same time, but if you ain't never had sex with him yet, and you see that he got a wife, at this point in time, there is no bond built with you, because there's no sex. There might have been intimate talk, but there was actually no interaction of sex. You don't build a bond that way.
True.
The thing is, he don't build a bond that way, because, see, the time he's spending with you is the time he don't have with his wife.
Yeah.
So that's like extra time. He's not spending, if his wife wanted to spend that time, you wasn't getting it.
Yeah.
So now you're at his leisure.
Okay.
He can do what he wants when he wants to, and then he'll feel that needed time where he is not with his wife, with you. So that's what tends to happen in most of these cases. So at the same time, you don't want to get into a relationship where you didn't see his wife and still sleep with him. How does that happen?
Yeah.
Because once I see his wife, I'm supposed to stop.
So let me touch on that, because I have a story to go with that. Someone that's very close to me that I know had a situation that happened like that. So she started to talk to this guy. Okay, they met. I don't know where they met. Some work or whatever the case might not even been work. Something that they did, extra activity that they did together in the community. So talked to this guy for a while, and they started to, flirt a little bit here and there. They started to see each other, and they not even see each other. I think the way she told me, they started to talk on the phone. That kind of goes with the segment that we had the other day, the red heart letter that we had, where they started to talk and text. It was a lot of texting, and that went on for several years. So at this time, she started falling for him. And the way it went was she fell for him. And one day at this community function, she actually saw a woman that came there and ended up finding out that all this time he had a fiance and didn't know about the fiance. And so for those 3 or 4 years that went by, the texting and the conversations that they would have, she, in her mind, fell for the guy. She fell for him at this time. So in the way you just said, I don't know how, if you see the wife, how you could still go for it. This time it was the fiance. So I think with all the time that she built, she said that she pursued it. She didn't end it with him, and they ended up being intimate because she felt as though he hasn't walked down the aisle. And in her mind, she felt like he had fallen in love with her too. So I think she felt like she could just, okay, she was upset that he didn't tell her about the fiance all that time. But all the time that they had spent talking, texting, whatever, seeing each other at the community, and it turned into, okay, well, I did all this. Maybe at the last minute he can change his mind. He didn't walk down the aisle yet. So I don't know. I just think it sucks because it's kind of playing with people's emotions. You do get caught up with people, and
it's not playing with people's emotion when you understand the man's outcome is to get between whatever it is you got
for all
the
those
buns.
years.
You
Yeah,
get
still.
your buns. So
Yeah.
it doesn't take. My mother used to use this phrase: "A man will crawl 100 miles on his stomach to get the buns." See, go outside, dig a hole, put hair around it. Men will be out there fighting over it. That's the mindset. See, so that's the goal. And again, I'm more concerned with the fact that I seen the woman and I can still go forward. Because see, as a woman, after I see the woman, that's supposed to stop it.
Yeah.
That's supposed to. I don't care
Yeah.
what stage they're in. That's supposed to stop it. Because see, now I know for sure he has a woman.
He has one,
And so he can't have
and he kept
two
it
women.
from her too.
Unless I'm gonna be cool and be the side chick, he has a woman. So at that point in time, it's time to terminate this thing. It's supposed to be cut off. And does that man have any feelings? No, he don't have feelings like that. We don't build relationships. We don't fall in love in that manner.
Even though there was time that happened in between, like she said it was like 3 or 4 years of time that was spent.
Again, because that's leisurely time. You are subsidizing my wife time. Meaning when I'm not with my wife, yeah, I can shoot a talk with you. But when I'm with my wife, see, that's what takes away, because see, if there was no dating, see, no connection outside of that, so all it was sex talk on the phone, texting. All you got is sex talk.
Yeah.
So the only thing that man sees is sex, because see, you are in charge of what that man sees. If the man only saw sex, that's all he ever saw.
Yeah.
You're saying I wanted a relationship, but he didn't say a relationship because he never would take the woman out on a date.
Yeah.
So there is no relationship. There was me having sex with the guy.
So it was a situationship, another situationship.
Again, and so that's what it is. And when most of the time we get women reading into it because the man maybe talked for 4 years, that man might have been connected, but the man is not connected because the man had a goal. He was there to conquer. And after he conquered, that's how it works. I've conquered you. Now, can I conquer you again? And especially if there were different dynamics posted to this. If the woman herself had a man or a boyfriend and he interacted and saw all of this, now that's another goal. Most, like I said, we would sit down and look at porn, the porn industry, the corn industry, I should say. When you sit there and look at it from that aspect, that's the number one video. The man sleeping with the neighbor's wife.
Yeah, something like,
That usually catch the people's attention, I guess. But at the same time, these are the things that we have to get away from, because, see, most women get caught up with their feelings inside these things.
And it gets in a world of trouble just from the feelings.
You got to be able to step away, because when the thing is wrong, I have to be able to step away. It's not going to work. So why would I pursue and give myself up?
Yeah, and for her, like, you would think that someone would be so upset with the guy because he didn't mention that for 3 years, and instead just going for it. So usually, and it's like, okay, but you continue to see him. But no, it's never okay. And the side piece thing, you said, oh, unless you agree to be a side piece, it's never okay. Somebody who has experienced something years ago in my 20s, that's never a good thing it doesn't matter what they're telling you. And you know what? Most of the time, the wife is great. There's no issue. There's nothing going on. That's what they're going to tell you. They're going to say, hey, wow, or another big thing that they'll use is, another big thing that they'll use is, oh, the wife's not being intimate with me. She's not being, and so it's like, okay, that's not It's not our job to make up for what she's not doing. At the end of the day, that's a marriage that they
No,
stood before God, and they have a marriage together.
but
So
that's
there
what I'm
should
saying.
never be. And even
But
with the
when,
fiance, you can't have the mindset of,
but
oh,
then,
they're not married yet,
but that's what
because
I'm
he
saying.
still chose
But
her.
when you see the wife and you still proceed, you are accepting a title
Now, when
as
you say
the
wife, are
side
you
chick.
calling the fiance the wife?
Yes,
You're
because
saying she's still.
once they reach that level, if she the fiance, this is something that just recently happened. So at this point in time, they're not even married yet. So they still in the ball of the relationship.
Mm-hmm.
Meaning I'm infatuated. I'm all of this right now with this woman.
So
But
how?
but at the same time, because again, men don't tie themselves to
So
women
that's what
by
I'm
sex.
saying. When you say that he's in all with this woman, he's infatuated. That's okay. That's your fiance. I don't know when she said they were engaged or whatever, but when you think about that, that's the time that you're getting ready to plan a wedding. You're getting ready to, wow, our families are going to come together. We're going to talk future. And it's like, well, if he's so in, and I think that's where she said, if he was so into his fiance, because somebody who loves someone is not going to hurt them in that way. You're not going to cheat on somebody that you love. So if you thought she was
So
worthy to take your last name and you proposed to her, then how could you step outside of her then?
well,
How could that be a thing? So that's not love. You can't say you love someone and I get what you're saying, that a man, oh, it doesn't matter if she's giving it up, but there has to be something, because you act like there's no kind of, stable programming in a man
think
where, oh,
about
well, if she's going
no,
to give
but
it up, I can. If
you
you
got to
love
think
someone, you're not going to do
a
that.
man
I'm
is there to
sorry.
protect, provide, and to keep you maintain. See, the sex side of all of this, that's why kings had many wives. They didn't have one, they had many. Anytime a man had money, he had many. This is the thing. So when you understand that process, that's how that works. But most of the time, a man can be with a woman and sleep with her. I ain't talking about be with her in the sense of a relationship. I'm talking about having sex with you. Most men, and I would say this, most men, I don't know, I can't speak for all. Most men have always practiced having sex without being in a relationship or being deeply in a relationship. So now I'm married, I'm still practicing the same practice, but I'm married now. See, because I haven't put that down. But I can only do this if you allow me to. Because if you say no, see, I can't do it. But if I get a hold of somebody, and let's say I'm hanging around you a lot, and I see where I think I could get you, or you're obtainable, yeah. And all I got to do is do a little few short things, because you got to sit down and think. If I can get you without a date, without being in a relationship, see, that speaks volumes to how much you like me. Because this is what this game has always been about. It's like who's actually falling. And generally, if I get, like I said, if he was pursuing you in the same manner, okay, meaning he was, taken away from his wife, he was like, okay, well, I want you, I want you, I want you, and he wasn't spending time with her. That is different. Then you will look at it differently. But when the person is saying he's doing the least as possible to get you, and you still fall, even after you see I got a wife.
True.
And I never took you out on a date, and you know now I got a wife. You done seen my wife.
After
and
all,
you still give me the sex. See, that means you are entitled to me. I'm not entitled to you.
Yeah.
And so you would want me to be, and you can look at it like this, and you can keep picturing that happening. But in my mind, it won't, because see, I'm looking at you as you done told me you want to be my side chick. You don't even want a relationship because you're cool with being a side chick.
Yeah.
And that's what that is. And we don't have a problem with you being a side chick. You know I'm married, so this makes it easier for that to happen because you know I'm married. So you know now, when I get that call from my wife, you got to be quiet.
You know exactly what's going on.
There's no secret no more.
Yeah.
So you put yourself in side chick role.
So, but what would, okay, and then just speaking on, just thinking about how I would be in that situation, the feelings thing after so many years. Yes, after 3 or 4 years, you are going to be attached to that person. You're daydreaming. You're doing all that the cute stuff that his fiance was probably doing when she met him as well. So now you didn't know because he didn't tell you. So I don't know. I just wish my friend would have got help or something with that. Maybe crying on a little bit, having somebody to talk to instead of pursuing with that, because
the eye opener is still the fact that he has a wife.
He has a wife.
When I see the wife, that is supposed to turn it off.
Yeah,
because he has a wife. Then because this ends my fantasy of being his wife.
Yeah, that's true.
So at that point in time, that's supposed to turn into a rage, more of an anger. Not supposed to be like, okay, well, I can still win this race. No, you can't. Crazy. Because she's already won. She's got a title.
She has a
title.
She's
the fiance.
She's the fiance.
The race is over. So at this point in time, anything you do extra is side chick stuff. And you're signing up lock, stock, and barrel to be a side chick. Now, if you're cool with being a side chick, by all means, go ahead. But if you're not and you want a relationship, once I see the wife, that shit ended.
That should be null and void. So now, what would make a man not tell? Well, I don't want it to be like a.
That's his goal.
I just to ask the question. I know that's his goal, but why would he not tell her from the gate, from the beginning? Hey, I'm engaged. Why is that something that he kept for that long?
Well,
why would that be a secret?
Well, for one thing, if let's say they were working together, and let's say I see her every day. Mm-hmm. Okay, first of all, the man is thinking in terms of whether or not he can get it.
Okay.
See? And they play the game. We just had a video not too long ago about the work wife.
Yes.
See, we play with these terms, and then in reality, see, the man is imagining what would it be like to actually go through with the full picture. The man ain't playing that, okay, well, we going to do this flirting thing. Most men are thinking, okay, well, yeah, I believe I can hit that. And if that's the mindset, then yeah, he's going to come in with that same mindset and that same mentality that this is about to happen. So now you're saying, why would he hide? Because see, if we told her the truth, she might not go with it. Because see, you also, part of selling the dream is that you could possibly be in this relationship.
Wow.
And that's the part of the dream. Because women fantasize more. Where men, like I said, we don't.
As a woman, I definitely do when I'm into.
So you were fantasizing what it would be like with the person, where the man is thinking about what he needs to do to get between the buns at
get
that
the
time.
prize between between those thighs. That's sad.
The issue that you have. And so that's going to always be the problem. Because see, the way the Bible was designed, the woman was supposed to keep hers. Mm-hmm. And now the man's supposed to keep his, but the man is going to try. Now, in the effort, my job is to try to have sex with you without giving you the ring. Your job is to make sure I don't have sex with you without the ring.
Okay.
Or without the marriage.
That makes
sense. Now, that's the game. This is the football game. You're not supposed to let me score. But if I can score without giving you the marriage
or the title, yeah.
So that's what this is. And then you'll look at it and say, well, the men are doing this, and the men need to keep their things in their pants and all that. But see, in all reality is you are in charge of that, because without you, none of this is possible.
Yeah,
like that. What was that? Smokey the Bear said. Only you can prevent that.
Yeah.
And nobody else can prevent it.
You can prevent it.
Because if I do anything other than that without your consent, then we're in some trouble. But at the same time, that's how we have to look at that. And so, yeah, you are in charge of that. Your goal is to keep your stuff until the man is ready to propose to you. That's what they used to do. Mm-hmm. Now, what we do today is we sample everything. It's like going into a good grocery store, and sampling everything. And so that's what we got today. That's why relationships don't work today, and it's harder to make these relationships work.
The bonding's not working.
When you say that woman that sees this, and why the man doing it, because the man will only do it because it's out here to be had.
It's allowed.
Yeah, it's out there. No, it's out here to be had.
Mm-hmm.
If it wasn't out here to be had, they couldn't do it.
Yeah, so that's what I'm saying. She's allowing it. That's the only reason why they're doing it, because the women are, like you said, they're allowing that to happen. We're not asking for that ring before we give up the prize. We're giving up the prize first, So yeah, that's the whole thing. So that's a good discussion, because then that triggers my mind to go into the whole thing of, is there real love going on in that situation? Then,
Well,
how is that
I,
love? Because
I believe
I don't
that
think he can really love a woman if he can step outside of her, or she,
that's,
vice versa.
but see,
You
that's
can't really
speaking,
love someone if
that's
you're
you,
able to step outside.
that's you speaking as a woman for a man. And you should never do that. Men don't think like you think, and we don't operate how you operate. So yeah, we can. A man, most of the time, in most cases, when a man is having an affair with a woman outside of his wife, the odds of him leaving his wife are slim to none. Now you can do the numbers on that, and you'll see that the majority of men that step outside their wife don't leave.
Yeah, they
The
might
wife
not
might
leave.
leave,
That's what I'm saying. So
but he not leaving.
so if you don't want that to happen, because if she finds out, she's probably going to leave. That's probably going to be a thing. If you love that woman, you're not going to do that, because you want your union to stay.
See,
you want to stay married.
That goes back to
You're
something
not going to do something.
my father used to preach. A woman has double the glory. She has more glory than God. God created woman with more glory than him. See, that's why the woman has two protectors. She has a husband and she has God. Two protectors. See, she has more glory than man. So that's why people get caught up in stuff. And see, this is something women don't want to come to grips with in that mindset. That you are. See, you are more desirable than men. You naked, me naked, it won't. It's not the same. This is why OnlyFans women make so much money and men don't. That's a reality. We've got to deal with that. And so, with that being said, you have twice the glory. Another good
topic to have too.
You have twice the glory. It's harder. That's why the only sin that the Bible says, the only sin in the Bible that tells you have to flee, is sexual immorality. The rest of them, you can stay there. But at this point in time, sex, you got to flee. If you look at even the story with Jacob, when he went when the woman tried to get him to get her, and he ended up taking his coat, and he ended up going to jail for it. See, he was actually fleeing. That's the whole process, because this is how that's supposed to work. You can't sit around this, and that's telling you how tempting it is. Sex is a 99% addictive rate. That's just the reality of it. We deal with this. We got men right here in Atlanta sleeping with women with HIV and knowing it. That's how addictive it is. So we have to come to grips with these realities. This is how this works.
That's sad.
But then you thinking, okay, was the person this and that? But the reality is that. That's what we have to deal with. But we go ahead. We do need to wrap this up.
Yeah.
Because we're going a little bit long here, I think. But it's a good discussion, and we would like to continue that discussion. If you would like to add to or comment, definitely do it down below. We would like to see what you think and where you are on this. Definitely. And again, we would like for you to like, subscribe, and share.
Yes.
And we definitely need those. But yeah, that's an interesting discussion. We're glad that you was able to sit in, and we want you to continue to.
And at the end of the day, it's never okay to sleep with a married person. It's not. And I mean, it's at some point in your life, or anybody's life, and in my friend's life, I'm glad that she now can say that that's more of a testimony for her. But it's never okay. It doesn't end good. And no one should ever be okay with being a side piece.
I don't think they start out wanting that. I think
no one should ever be
but
okay.
Then again, you never know. We live in a different time.
But thank you so much for joining us again. And please like, share, and subscribe. And comment. Until next time.